On Monday, October 13, you will have the chance to play the iRacing arcade demo on Steam. The studio behind it, Original Fire Games, achieved notable success 2 years ago with Circuit Superstars, a well-made, wholesome top-down arcade racer. Then, in July 2024 last year, they announced a publishing and development partnership with iRacing for a new game. The full version of iRacing Arcade is scheduled for release on Steam later this year, followed by a console release in early 2026. The demo gives a good idea of what iRacing Arcade will be like. So is it just a reskin of Circuit and Karting Superstars, or is there more to it? Let's take a look. Welcome back to Overtake. I'm Michel and I'm thrilled that iRacing, of all companies, is giving the arcade racer genre the attention it deserves. After titles like F1 Race Stars, for example, and this was also kinda abandoned, right? The demo, available on Monday, doesn't present any major hurdles. I believe the download was less than 2 GB, and after selecting one of the 5 difficulty levels from the main menu, you're taken straight to the track. It's not a huge scope for the demo's content. You basically have the Porsche Cup at Tsukuba, that's it, which already reveals the first twist of the game. We are confronted with cartoon-like variants of real-life licenses. In Circuit Superstars, the tracks are of course reminiscent of real-life circuits, but with the official licenses, they can now implement the layouts one-to-one. For me, this already made a huge difference because my knowledge of the Tsukuba track from racing simulations in Gran Turismo, for example, helped me immediately. The line, braking points, and positioning of the car are actually pretty much spot on. Also, this intro scene with the car being unloaded from the truck and everything actually reminds me a bit of Gran Turismo 7, the sequence when you choose a brand in the Manufacturer's Cup. It looks just charming. Fantasy sponsors like Funlop, Michigan, and Gripto are still there. I would have thought that the iRacing license package would cover that too, but it's also actually kind of funny and probably on purpose. Technically, iRacing Arcade is based on a Unity engine framework. It has beautiful lighting, the trees sway in the wind and the track feels alive with nice little details and spectator grandstands, all very colorful of course. I think the style fits well overall. Once you're in the game, you can also adjust a few video and audio settings and change the language. There's a few languages supported. The controls couldn't be customized yet, but there's also not really a lot to customize. I don't think that the game will have wheel support. It's more intended for like controller use, I would say gamepads. But my PS5 DualShock controller was also recognized without any problems, like over the Steam integration kind of, and it also offered good rumble effects. It's basically just throttle, brake with like R2 and L2, and steering and looking around with the sticks. That's pretty much it. You can also press the right stick, R3. That's a direct look back, for example, but otherwise there's not many controls. I was surprised right away by the driving experience. It feels refined and just right. What can I say? You have a lot of grip, obviously, but the steering is also very precise, no matter how tight the corner. This balance of speed, steering, acceleration, deceleration feels just right and is perfect. I mentioned Karting Superstars at the beginning in the intro. It's also a title of that same dev studio. And that's a title that is probably stuck in early access hell in favor of iRacing Arcade when I looked it up. And that's my only negative twist so far and why I'm still a little skeptical. It's a bit of a shame that Original Fire Games never really communicated about it. I haven't found any post or update or whatever. It's just, after all, people spent money on it, and some people are disappointed, it seems, also in the Steam reviews. And according to Steam, the last update was made 19 months ago. That leaves a bad taste in the mouth, and that puts it in good company, actually, with iRacing's other side project, Exocross. Remember that? Except for a few special events where jumps and barriers are placed on the tracks. not much really happens there, and the whole project sounded a bit more ambitious in the beginning. Yeah, both the developers and also the publisher urgently need to improve their communication here because, yeah, customers will not forget things like that. And I also briefly tested the Karting Superstars demo again, and it's very similar. It's clearly the technical foundation of iRacing Arcade. It's a reskin. Even the UI is basically the same. However, the iRacing Arcade demo feels a lot more polished. In fact, I noticed that the Porsche Cup at Tsukuba immediately drew me into a bit of an addictive spiral. On the one hand, the learning curve is very satisfying. The direct feedback allows you to drastically improve your lap time within a few minutes of practicing. My best times were recently in the high 26s, so you're pretty much twice as fast as you would be in the car on the real Tsukuba track. Then there is the AI and difficulty levels. It's all very well balanced in my experience for the demo. It took me a few attempts before I was able to win a race with really exciting battles going on the master level, the second highest level. Superstar is where it gets really challenging. And overall, the slipstreaming, the pushing, and positioning for corners is just great fun. But overly aggressive driving and crashing is usually punished because you lose too much speed and, in the worst case, end up in the barrier. Cutting corners is also prevented by cones with some slow zones. So you have to drive smart, and it actually feels like proper racing, not like just random pushing and overpacing. In this respect, it really lives up to the name iRacing Arcade, because if you want to be fast, you have to take it seriously and follow a few rules. Based on tire and fuel consumption, you can already see that there's a more technical depth to it. It's not necessary in the 6 laps in the demo, but you can try already the pit stops, which are also nicely animated. Finally, there is a cute podium ceremony. The various race suits, helmets, and liveries indicate that customization and unlockable items will play a role. But what else can we expect from the final game? There is still a small question mark regarding the scope, number of cars and tracks, and vehicle classes. The screenshots already show some other content, such as a Formula car and also the hypercars. The real Porsche 963 with the number 85 will also be competing in the IMSA finale with iRacing Arcade sponsorship and will of course find its way into the game. Otherwise, this quote from the press release shows what else can be expected from the game. Build your motorsport legacy in an engaging career mode that sees you develop team facilities, unlock boosts, and climb through the racing ranks or hit the global time attack leaderboards to post the fastest laps. And that's exactly where I was a little confused. Leaderboards? I thought there would be a real online multiplayer mode with custom lobbies, own tournaments, playing with friends, just like in Karting Superstars. There's no information about this on the Steam page either, nor on the website. I just asked iRacing directly today, and they confirmed that online multiplayer will be available at launch. I hope that they just didn't reference the leaderboards. I hope it's really the online mode of Karting Superstars. But I really wonder why it's not yet listed prominently on the official feature lists, because iRacing is also known for its online experience. So that should play a part, even though I really like a good career mode. But yeah, good news after all. So my conclusion is still a bit mixed. The iRacing Arcade's ingredients are promising and the demo is fun. The gameplay is spot on, really. However, there are also some major concerns. Will the scope of the content be enough? What will post-release support look like? Looking at Exocross, how good will the multiplayer systems be? How motivating is the career mode? How about pricing? Yeah, it would be great to have an iRacing Mini on the go, and I could see it working well on the Nintendo Switch or mobile devices as well. More importantly, it could attract the younger audience because, in my opinion, motorsports and sim racing have a hard time attracting a new generation of fans. So, original Fire games and iRacing, please make it cool. Otherwise, support us at Overtake because we depend on you if you enjoy our videos and reports. There's a neat supporter program on our website, overtake.gg, with benefits starting around €1 or $1 a month for our premium package. Yeah, feel free to check it out via the link in the video description down below. It's worth it, I promise. Thank you for watching, see you next time, and bye-bye.